Welcome to our summary of smart leadership. In this video, we'll explore how this book can guide you to become an effective and impactful leader. Let's dive in. Smart leadership is your roadmap to becoming a strong and capable leader. It introduces the concept of smart choices, highlighting the importance of making decisions that enhance your leadership skills. These choices are like building blocks that not only improve your strategic thinking, but also empower you to create a positive influence, elevate your organization's well-being, and leave behind a meaningful legacy. The author, Mark Miller, is a seasoned writer, business leader, and speaker. With over 4 decades of experience, he began his journey at Chick-fil-A and has risen to the role of Vice President of High-Performance Leadership. His mission is to help leaders like you grow, nurture your teams, and drive your organizations to success. So if you're ready to embark on a journey of smart leadership, stay tuned as we delve into the key insights and takeaways from smart leadership. Have you ever watched the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? If you have, you might remember the part where Indy has to choose the right Holy Grail from a bunch of cups. The story goes that the person who drinks from the true Grail will become immortal. Indy is having a tough time deciding when a bad character who also wants the Grail shows up. Indy lets the bad guy choose first. With the help of his assistant, the bad guy picks a fancy gold cup and drinks from it, but in just a few moments he suffers a painful death. Then the knight who's been guarding the Grail says the famous line, "He made the wrong choice." After that, Indy chooses a simple cup that could have been made by a regular person. The knight agrees with his choice and says, "You've made a good choice. You probably won't face a choice like that, but it shows how choices can be hard and how a wrong choice can be really bad. You want to make the right choice. The one that has the best result, that works the best, that adds value. Because remember, the choices you make also affect the people around you." In this quick summary, you'll find out about what the writer, Mark Miller, calls the 4 smart choices. You'll also learn some ways to start making these smart choices. Ready to improve your leadership skills? Let's learn about these smart choices that will help you become a smart leader. Idea 1. Smart choices can help you break free from tough situations. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in quicksand, where no matter how hard you try, things just keep getting worse? It might seem like achieving success in your career and life is really difficult, and you might feel unsatisfied. Many leaders go through these feelings. They face lots of challenges that seem to pile up, like sinking into quicksand. These challenges can catch them off guard, and once they're in, it's hard to figure out what to do. It's a bit like being stuck in quicksand. You struggle, and it's tough to escape. So what do many leaders do? They find a way to manage. They learn to deal with these tough situations. The quicksand each person faces is unique. For some, it's endless and often unproductive meetings. Others are overwhelmed with emails, messages, and social media. Some are constantly interrupted by colleagues. Many find that life keeps getting more complicated. If you don't relate to any of these, what's holding you back? What's stopping you from making a big impact? Maybe it's feeling too comfortable where you are. Feeling stuck, tiredness, things you can't control, but no matter what kind of quicksand you're in, there's a way out. First, let's figure out what exactly your personal quicksand is. Grab a pen and paper and write down the top 3 things that are making things hard for you. You can also put them in your phone to remind yourself. As you read through this summary, keep these in mind. By the end, you should have a plan to get out of these challenges. There's a quote by Viktor Frankl that says, "There's a space between what happens to you and how you react. In that space, you can choose how to respond. That's your way to grow and become free." While we all might not have the same options, the choices we can make give us a chance to take control and make a difference. In the next 4 parts, you'll learn about the 4 smart choices. These are choices that really matter and need your full attention. Each one is important on its own, but when you use them together, you'll unlock your true strength and make a bigger impact. Idea 2. Face the truth and plan for what's ahead. "The first thing a leader needs to do is understand what's really happening," said Max Dupree, who used to be the CEO of a furniture company called Herman Miller. Even though this might sound obvious, lots of leaders find it hard to deal with the truth. Why is this? Well, there are a few reasons. Some are scared of failing, some don't want to admit things are wrong, some are too proud, some only think about the short term, and others are just too busy. The important thing is that if you want to stay honest and be a strong leader, you have to face reality. The first step is figuring out what's going on around you. Start by looking at your leadership skills. Ask yourself, am I doing a good job leading? Are there things I'm missing? Then think about your team. Are all the people on your team doing a great job or just okay? What about the people you work closely with? After that, consider your whole organization. Is it doing well compared to what it could do? Are you getting the results you wanted from your plans? You also need to look at your personal life. Think about how things are right now. Are you living in a way that's good for you in the long run? Can you keep doing what you're doing for many years? Are you involved enough at work, at home, and in your community? Next, think about your relationships. Are they healthy? Who supports you and who makes you feel tired? What about money? Are you spending within your limits? Do you have debts? Have you prepared for the future and your health? Are you sleeping well and staying active? Is your diet healthy? If you're a spiritual person, do you feel connected to your beliefs? And how are you making a difference outside your family? Lastly, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? That's a lot of things to think about. So what do you do with all these thoughts? Remember, this is just the beginning. Facing reality is an ongoing thing. Keep checking where you are now and where you want to be. Look for the gaps you need to fill. Make plans to bridge those gaps and reach the future you want. But don't do this all on your own. Get someone else's perspective. Find someone who can point out where you might be wrong or where you're ignoring problems. They might have new ideas too. You could even hire someone to give you honest advice, not just what you want to hear. Or if you don't have one already, find a mentor or a coach. All of these people can help you face reality. Are you ready to start dealing with reality? Grab a notebook and write down areas where you need to face the truth. What's true about these areas now? What do you want to be true in the future? Start planning how to get there. Idea 3. Get better and make time to think. In 1913, a man named Henry Ford did something amazing. He introduced the assembly line, which made it possible to build cars much faster. Before, it took 12 hours to make a Model T car, but with the assembly line, it only took 1 hour and 33 minutes. This big change meant people and things could move around more easily. Today, computers have even more power. They can do incredible things like figuring out the order of all the parts in human DNA. When Smart Leadership was written, the fastest computer had 7.3 million parts and worked super fast. Even though it might sound confusing, one thing is clear. With this kind of power, the world is sure to change. But this isn't just about computers. People can also grow their own power. Each of us has a lot of potential, and it's our job to use it. Let's see how we can do that. First, step back and think about yourself. Start with your schedule. Get rid of things that aren't helpful or important. For example, if you're invited to a meeting, ask if you really need to be there for the whole thing. Maybe you only need to be there for a part of it. Then group similar things together in your schedule. You can also use an app to track what you're doing each day, so you know how you're using your time. Leave some space in your schedule. This is time for thinking, planning, and reflecting. It's when you can come up with new ideas that you wouldn't have time for otherwise. This isn't just something extra, it's really important. You could even set aside a whole day just for thinking and reflecting. If you can't do that, try half a day or even just a few hours. Want to do something right now to become better at this? Take a look at your schedule and remove 1 or more meetings or activities every week for the next month. And don't forget to put some thinking time in there too. Idea 4. Being curious leads to new chances. In 2003, Mark Miller met the CEO of a grocery store chain called Super Quinn in Ireland. This CEO, Fergal Quinn, had about 30 stores. Quinn was super interested in his customers and talked to them all the time. He was really curious about them. Think about when you last talked to your customers or really listened to them. If you want to be a leader who makes a big difference, you have to be curious. Instead of ignoring your curiosity, you should feed it. A good way to start is by finding out how much things are changing around you. Ask yourself these questions. How have what customers want changed recently? Have my employees' needs changed since I became their leader? How has the company's plans changed over the last 5 years? Have my own goals changed as my career has gone on? What new technologies are shaping my business today? Is there more competition making my work harder? In a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, someone named Stephen Covey said that the world is always changing. He was right. Even if things are okay now, they might get harder soon. That's when you need to be more creative and curious. You're the one who has to find your way through the challenges ahead. How? By coming up with solutions that others haven't thought of, by asking questions, by learning from the people around you, and by working to make things better. All of this comes from your curiosity. Being curious will also open up new chances. Keep asking what if while you look for new ideas. Imagine what the future could be like and explore those ideas. As you keep being curious, it'll rub off on others too. Your interest will make them interested too, and this is really good for your organization. Research shows that being curious leads to more creativity when making decisions, more respect for leaders, and better teamwork in groups. Growing your power depends on boosting your curiosity, just like we talked about before. Remember, each of these smart choices is connected to the others. Want to start being more curious? How about asking more questions? Talk to new people and hear their interesting ideas. And of course, read more. Maybe listen to different things too. Curious enough to start being more curious right now. Think about something you want to get better at, either in your life or in leading. Can you make a simple version of it and try it out? Then learn from it, try again, and keep going. Idea 5. Shape a brighter tomorrow. Renowned business expert Peter Drucker once said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." This brings us to the 4th smart choice, crafting a better future. Leaders drive positive change for people and organizations. Imagine being like Luke Skywalker, harnessing your inner strength, ideas, and skills to do good. Your thoughts shape actions that mold outcomes. Visualize a scale with, "My actions impact results on one end," and "My actions don't matter" on the other. Regardless of where you stand, believe you can make a difference. Action is essential for progress. Whether it's a big project or small, focus on what's within your control. Channel energy into those areas, chart steps for real progress. Want to run a marathon? Plan it out, read, start training even if slowly. Mistakes are part of the journey. Learn, adapt, and record lessons for next time. Repeat this process. To change, adopt a growth mindset, lifelong learning and growth. Don't just attempt, take action. Recall Star Wars, Luke's training challenges. Yoda's wisdom applies. Do or don't, there's no trying. Daily, learn something new. Jot down a daily lesson. Weekly, review and share. As you grow, celebrate progress. Leverage your growth mindset for positive impact. Ready for change? Choose a situation and start the change today. Final recap. You have 4 key smart choices ahead. Face reality, enhance your capacity, fuel your curiosity, and drive change. Each boosts your impact and combined, they amplify your influence. While you may face missteps and inconsistencies, don't lose heart. Learn from them, choose better next time, like Indy's wise choices. If you've begun these steps, you're on the path to impactful smart choices. Your success is in your hands.